So apparently real estate investors make so much money. Well, I'm here to tell you the realistic part of being a real estate investor. I am not going to shy away from my numbers, and I felt it'd be best to share with you guys how much I made as a real estate investor in my first year of being a real estate investor. So if you guys are super interested in this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, go subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright, so before I even turned the camera on, I wanted to make sure I had every single number correct to the T. So I went through all our previous HUDs, all our closing, all our bank accounts to see what was the exact number we made. So I have it all on my phone right here. I want to make sure I have every single number for you guys, and I want to break down each deal. So I started the company Stephanie Buys Houses, as you can see, back in February of 2021. And then me and my partner, we partnered up, me and Skylar, and it took us a little while to get that first deal. So us starting around that February time, we didn't get our first deal until July. Like that's quite amount of time where we're not getting paid for anything. And remember, I literally really wasn't selling any real estate. I'm just focused on investing. So if we don't close a deal, I'm not making any money. And at this time, he has a full-time job, but I'm just focused on the business. So it can be very, very like tough being a real estate investor or just being in real estate in general and just focusing on, you know, making money whenever you close a deal. But our first deal was July, and this deal was actually a double close. So we bought the deal, got a transactional lender to fund the deal, and we sold the deal in the same day. If you guys want me to go more in depth in another video, just comment that down below. So this was a double close, and we made $10,566.70. So not too bad for our first deal. And a little hint, this was a probate deal. So we love our probates. Now, the second deal, this happened a couple months later. So we actually got this lead towards the beginning of August, but this deal didn't close until the beginning of October. And this deal was a novation. So it's basically like a wholesale deal where you go under contract with the seller, but a little twist is where we did a little bit of work to the property, but the property stayed in the seller's name. And then we listed the property on the market. Instead of selling it to a regular investor, we sold it to a retail buyer. And this one was a pretty big check. Super exciting. So this one closed in like the beginning of October for $39,596. So super big check. It was really nice seeing that when it hit our bank account. And yeah, so it was a little bit of a difference from July, our first deal, to October. And then our third deal, this actually happened in November. This was from a wholesale deal. So it wasn't a house we wholesaled. We actually wholesaled a piece of land. I believe it was a little close to 6 acres of land. And we wholesaled this to a cash buyer. And on this deal, we made $10,000 flat, just $10,000. So that was our third deal. Our fourth deal came in December. And this was actually from a referral. So a friend of mine, he's another investor, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey Stephanie, my house actually caught on fire in Harrisburg, like in our area. Was wondering if you have someone that may want to buy this," so on and so forth. I was like, yeah, I think I have someone in mind. I said, don't worry about the fee or anything. We can just give you his contact. But he was like, no, it's okay if you make a little bit of something off of it. So I was like, might as well make a good, $2,000 or whatever we can. So we got a buyer for it. Everything went smooth, and we made $2,000. And that was just from me knowing another investor. So networking is a great way to get deals as well. Now, our fifth deal, this happened in February. So from December to February, time happens. So like sometimes we just don't get a deal that month and we don't get paid, which sucks, but that's the reality of real estate. And this is the reality of our first year of being real estate investors. Now the fifth deal, this happened in February, and this deal was a novation. So we got this property. This was also a probate. That's why we love our probates. And we had the appointment, everything went smooth. The only thing we did with this property is we just cleaned it out. We didn't hire anyone since we didn't have so much money at the time. We wanted to, you know, save money, and we cleaned out the property ourselves. Took a couple of days or so, not too long. And then we were able to, I think we just put a for sale by owner sign out front instead of actually putting it on the market, so we didn't have to pay the other realtor fee. And with that one, we got a lot of calls, and that actually was a double close. So it was like a novation we did, but a double close. We were going to do an assignment so we can make more money, but the title company, this title company we're working with wasn't my favorite, but we got the deal done. And with this one, it was a novation to a double close, and we made $18,283.49. So another big deal, super exciting, literally all praise to the Lord above. So now I want to go into the gross amount so you guys can see like what the total was for that first year we were in business. And the gross amount we made was $80,446.19. So almost 6 figures in our first year. And I'm super thankful, super blessed, because wouldn't be able to be in this position if it wasn't for God aligning everything into place. And like I said, I do not want to just talk gross numbers. I want to get down to the basics with you guys so you guys know exactly how much we were making in our first year. So as we said, that was gross. Now the total net, what we do, I am not a tax professional, but we talk to our accountant and they say typically take off 30%. So 30%, once we set that aside for taxes, it shows that our company net made $56,312.33. Now you guys may be wondering, okay, your company made that, but how much did you make? How much did Skylar make? So on and so forth. And at this time, guys, we also had, I think we had 2 VAs that were cold calling, and then we had another, or maybe it was just one. Maybe one VA that was cold calling, but we also did have another VA that was doing admin work, so on and so forth. So we had a lot of things like expenses wise where we had to pay expenses for the company. But if we have our net of the $56,312.33, that's the net, so we already took taxes off of that. What we do is we divide it by 3. So I would get a third, he gets a third, and the company gets a third. Because you always want to make sure you're putting money back into the company. Now everyone may do their business different. That's just how, you know, we've been doing our business. So that is what it is, you know. But after we divide that by 3, our net each for that year, $18,770.77. So I was like, you know, let me divide it again by 12 to see how much we made profit each month. And guys, when I divided it by 12, I was like, dang, it didn't look too good. But if we divide that by 12 to see how much we made per month for me and Skylar personally, that would be $1,564.23. So I would get that, he would get that, the company would get that. And dang, does that look, that looks pretty crazy in like not the greatest way. So it shows like the gross amount of $80,000 to a net per person, $1,500. So people think like real estate investors make so much money. It's like, nah, like when you're in the beginning stages, you have to put so much back into the company. You have so much expenses. You're just having to build that momentum. But I can't, like, so many people on YouTube post, oh, I made this much. It's the gross amount. It's like, nah, we can't talk about gross. We need to talk about that straight profit so people know like how much you truly make. since so many people want to get into the business, but they don't know the reality of the business. And this honestly is the same as a real estate agent. Like, people see they make this much, but when you get into it, it's like, dang, like it took me 9 months to get my first deal, but people will show you this, but not how much you have to take away for taxes, so on and so forth, how much you have to put into marketing, how much you got to do this and that. So it can be stressful, it can be tough. Like I said, if you go a month without not getting a deal, you're not getting paid. So that's why a lot of people do it part-time, so on and so forth. But whatever you focus on expands, and we're all in, so we're non-stop. And that was just our first year. Right now we are in, is it our third? Maybe our third, towards the end of the second, third, around that. So now we have properties, we, you know, built a rental portfolio. So a lot has changed in the first year, and I'm super thankful. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video of like the realistic part of how much you can make in real estate investing. And this is just our journey. Who knows? You can make, you know, 6 figures, over 6 figures your first year. Or it could be lower. You just never know. It's all about putting that work in and, you know, just seeing the results happen. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Go subscribe if you're not subscribed. Turn that bell button on so you guys never miss a video. And I know a lot of you guys may be interested in also being a real estate agent. So if you guys want to see how much I made my first 6 months as a real estate agent, make sure you check out this video right here.